Hey guys, what is going on? Today I wanted to share with you three company stocks that I believe have the potential for a huge return on investment. I'll share with you these companies specifically in the AI, artificial intelligence space, as well as in the quantum computing technology sector. We know that just within the month of January of 2023, we've seen significant changes where there's now innovative stocks that are doing much better than the bleed out that we've seen back in 2022, 2021, right? I believe now is the bull era where the bears are now hibernating and awaiting until the spawning salmon season begins until the bears can come out right now. So it's really capitalizing on company stocks that have the potential on huge return on investment upside. I'll share that with you. But first, if you're new to All I See Is W, I'd really appreciate you providing the love and support by hitting the like and subscribing for more related content. Let's get started, guys. Now, the first company I wanted to talk about, we've seen this company being talked about significantly, and that's AI, right? AI, I mean, since the beginning of 2023, in fact, the company's share price had reached all the way up to $25. It was hovering at the low point of $11, and it's more than doubled now at this point, right? Hovering at the $25. We've heard news where Microsoft has been announcing the ChatGPT to really automate how sales can just automate their messages, have that be emailed without having to spend the time to manually type that up. That's huge because now there's going to be initiatives from the large scale companies like Google, Apple, Microsoft really tapping into the AI space, using this to drive and streamline specific processes that can be improved on, right? And this is ultimately why AI has been in the buzz for so long. Let's just look at the technicals and fundamentals before we look at actual source information on why C3.ai stock has soared so much, at least in the beginning of the year, specifically in January. As we zoom out here, right? I mean, overall, I mean, it's been bleeding out since August of 2022, where it reached a basement low of $10. As we zoom out on a 5-year range, at one point in 2021, the share price was at $153. The question is, can it potentially bull run back up, right? Even though we're looking at it from a hindsight perspective, of course, there's bias that can be involved. There's definitely room for growth because the attractiveness of quantum computing, artificial intelligence, innovation, all of that is being made upfront on the Wall Street right now, and investors are seeing that innovation technology is beginning to become more bullish, if you will, right? And just looking at the overall company's financial statements, specifically with the income statement, while we see revenue increasing, we do see risk here with operation expense increasing as well, which really impacts the overall net profit margin, right? That's basically your profitability. Now, when we look at the balance sheet of 2022, total assets has reduced down in terms of percentages, including the cash and short-term investments. Total liabilities, this is basically what the company owes, right? Whether that's borrowing money or expanding its infrastructure. That has an impact, but as we look at the overall cash flow, we see cash from investing increasing, right? Because now we're beginning to see increase in shareholder value. The one positive thing I wanted to note is the net change in cash, right? Free cash flow, that's basically the most important thing when it comes to assessing finance with the company. And we want to see free cash flow increase because that's like the blood necessity for how the company is performing when it comes to just operational health with respect to finance. Now, as we look at why C3.ai soared in the month of January, well, this all came down to just the overall push for AI enterprise software provider. I mean, it's been seeing an increased enthusiasm from investors due to the hype around the new AI chatbots released by companies like OpenAI, right? I mean, the company announced a partnership to integrate AI language models from companies like OpenAI and Google into C3.ai's software applications. This is big news because this can tap into multiple enterprises ranging from the US military to agriculture, including in the finance space as well as in the biotechnology industry, right? And it's really going to transform how we look at just traditional ways of doing things and revamping that and standardizing it to ultimately improve on operational efficiencies. Now, when it comes to share price, right? So is there a potential for C3 AI to 1x from this point on to hover above the $50 range? I definitely think that it has the potential here. I would say that in Q1 of this year, perhaps even in the month of February, we can easily see this break $35 and start marching up to the $50 range. I may be understating this and that it can even catapult further, right? I mean, it all really just depends on the market sentiment, specifically in the quantum computing, artificial intelligence space. But in 2023, I can see that AI may have the potential to break the $75 range from my perspective, including up to the triple digit share price range. So that's one thing to consider as well. So the next company I wanted to share with you, which I believe has a huge upside on return on investment, that has to do with quantum computing in the NASDAQ space. This is more of a low small cap company, right? Not as big as AI, but overall, just looking at year to date, it's gained about 61%. That's just huge, right? And at the end of Friday, it ramped up by about 28%, including in the aftermarket, right? While this company is still growing and developing, as we look at just the overall value of this company, just looking at a 1 year trend chart here, I mean, it hovered at one point up to $4 last year. But as we zoom out, at one point, right, it ran up to, I believe, like $15 at one point back in early 2021. And it's been just bleeding out. So can you imagine buying at the basement low here at this time? I mean, basement low would have been like $1.51, but I definitely do think $2.46 is still low when you zoom it out from a long-term perspective, right? You can capitalize once it goes back up to its prior resistance of like $10. I'm thinking that QUBT with increased market sentiment in quantum computing space, artificial intelligence, software technology, it's going to drive up with its share price. Just to give you more information on what the company is doing here, QUBT is on the NASDAQ market, right? It's a full stack quantum software and hardware company on a mission to accelerate the value of quantum computing for real world business solutions. So the company actually has a subsidiary called QPhoton, a quantum photonics innovation company that has developed a series of quantum photonic systems just with its overall intellectual property as well as IPs from Q Photons. It's really setting the path for a full stack quantum solution that can add value in the real world industry. And this is looking very attractive for overall the company. In terms of just return on investment, I do think that in 2023, quantum computing can at one point run all the way up $10. That's my perspective. So I just wanted to share this with you. Just continue to monitor and see, what this company can do, especially given that quantum computing space right now is gaining a lot of attractiveness. Next company I wanted to share with you, we've heard about Genius Group here, right? It's been all over the news. It goes by ticker GNS in the New York Stock Exchange. Look at the year to date. It's gone up by about 2,000%, right? What's driving this Singapore company focused on just transforming the educational system, right? This is huge. I mean, just as we zoom out, right, at one point back in like 2022, share prices were around $9, right? And it bled all the way down to 47 cents. I mean, in January 13, which was about 2-3 weeks ago, it was in the penny range, and now it's at 6.76 with a gain of about 2,000% in positive proceeds there. The question is, will it continue to bull run? Right? I mean, let's say if you are invested in GNS, I would monitor this closely, set your stop losses, just know where you want to exit with this, because what goes up very quickly has the potential to go down very quickly as well. Can it run up continually? I believe that it can, right? So just know what your risk is associated with this investment here. It's important to understand that, right? And just understand that when it goes up very quickly, you understand that there's going to be risk associated with that as well. Just to share with you news around just with what's driving the company's share price up. I mean, the company has a plan to give a $10 blockchain-based digital discount coupon, and that's what's really driving up the company's share price, in addition to what it's previously ran up to here. So a $10 NFT coupons per share for shareholders really just brings the confidence in the company in terms of where it's headed in the future. For this company based out in Singapore. So I would continue to monitor, right? And just be very cautious, have that contrarian perspective, know when to take profits, right? Let's say if you are a long investor, I understand where you're coming from, but just understanding that it shot up, nearly 2,000%, that's just huge numbers. So I would just be mindful to take in information from both angles with the lens of understanding benefits and risk as well. So overall, that's my analysis. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that with technology, AI, and quantum computing being discussed about significantly, especially in the beginning of the year, I wanted to give you some stocks to monitor as potential buys. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you subscribe and like, and please leave your comments and questions down below. Thanks for watching, guys.